You just won the lottery in the next 24 hours. Listen closely, because this is not wishful thinking. It is certainty. The jackpot has already shifted in your favor, and the numbers are aligning because you have aligned first within yourself. The only thing you need to do now is to accept, to claim, and to live as though the result is already done. Imagination is the winning ticket. Every great manifestation begins inside, not outside. The moment you see yourself holding the winning slip, celebrating the fortune and feeling the joy, the unseen world registers it as fact. From that instant forward, everything begins to conspire to deliver it to you in perfect order. Feel the victory now. Do not wait until tomorrow's news. Do not wait until you check the results. The only time that exists is now, and when you feel the emotions of having won in this present moment, you collapse time itself. You make the unseen visible. That feeling is the magnet that pulls the jackpot into your reality with undeniable certainty. Do not concern yourself with the process. Assume the end and ignore the middle. The how, the where, the when, these are distractions. The end is all that matters. The end is you, wealthy, abundant, free, holding proof of your win in your hand. When you live in the end, the details fold themselves into perfect order without effort. To proclaim, you are there, the one, without doing any effort. Certainty attracts speed. When you shift from hoping to knowing, the timeline compresses. What others wait years for, you can receive in 24 hours. Why? Because the universe is not responding to chance. It is responding to your conviction. The stronger your assumption, the quicker the jackpot is delivered. So, live as the winner today. Carry yourself as if the money is already in your account, as if you are already celebrating with loved ones, as if the news has already broken in your favor. Every step you take in this state builds an unshakable vibration that the outer world must reflect. The outer world obeys the inner command. Numbers, tickets, banks, and prizes are but shadows. The real substance lies within you. Once you command with conviction and accept the result as finished, the shadow world bends to fulfill your decree. Imagination is the winning ticket, because everything you ever experience in your outer world must first exist within you. The numbers on the lottery ticket are not chosen at random. They are a reflection of what you dare to assume inwardly. The unseen world of imagination is the true generator of fortune, wealth, and victory. When you sit quietly and allow yourself to envision holding that winning slip, when you hear the announcer declare your numbers, when you feel the weight of excitement and relief rushing through your body, you are creating the cause that the physical world will later echo. The imagination is not a child's toy or a fleeting fantasy. It is the workshop of creation, the drawing board on which reality itself is sketched before it appears. Think of imagination as the master key. With it, doors that once seemed locked swing open without effort. You may believe that winning the lottery is about odds and chance, but the truth is that it is about alignment. What you repeatedly assume in imagination becomes so real to your inner senses that it hardens into fact. If you can see yourself as the winner in vivid detail, and if you sustain that vision until it becomes natural, you have already drawn the winning numbers within. The outer result has no choice but to catch up. Many people dismiss imagination as daydreaming, but they fail to understand that the entire fabric of life is born out of unseen assumptions. The house you live in, the clothes you wear, the city you walk through, each of these was once only in someone's imagination. So too is your fortune. If you can live in the inner world with conviction, walking in the certainty that the jackpot is already yours, then the lottery you desire must come into form. The key is to claim it inwardly without resistance. Do not treat imagination as pretend, but as the true reality. When you close your eyes and see yourself wealthy, free, and fulfilled, you are not escaping from life. You are commanding life. The more natural and effortless this inner vision becomes, the faster the outer world bends in your favor. You will notice coincidences aligning, opportunities appearing, and the perfect sequence of events leading you to the win that was first scripted in your inner movie. Imagination is not about waiting, it is about creating. The moment you assume the end, the moment you feel the thrill of victory and let it saturate your being, the process has already begun. You are not a passive participant in chance. You are the director, the scriptwriter, the winner who has already chosen the outcome. The numbers do not fall randomly. They fall according to the command of your consciousness. So when you hear the words, imagination is the winning ticket, know this. You hold the only ticket that matters. You do not need luck. You do not need chance. You do not need to beg the world to deliver. You only need to assume the victory inwardly with such certainty that the universe has no choice but to hand you the jackpot you already claimed. Feel the victory now, for emotion is the bridge between imagination and manifestation. Thought alone sketches the idea, but it is emotion that breathes life into it and makes it magnetic. To win before the outer world delivers, you must first experience the thrill, the gratitude, the relief, and the celebration within yourself. The moment you saturate your inner being with the emotion of already having won, the unseen world registers it as fact. From then on, the physical world must bend to reflect what you have already lived through in feeling. So many people wait for the result to feel the joy. They wait for the numbers to be announced, the prize to be handed over, the money to appear before allowing themselves to feel wealthy and victorious. Yet this is the reverse of the true law. The world outside does not lead, it follows. Feeling comes first, and reality responds. The emotions you cultivate within are the seeds that bloom into experiences without. If you want to experience victory tomorrow, you must feel victorious today. Think of emotion as the stamp of authenticity. A dry thought without feeling is like a letter never mailed. It goes nowhere. But once infused with emotion, it becomes a living command to the universe. When you allow yourself to feel the joy of winning, even when nothing outside has yet changed, you send a powerful signal that your inner world has already shifted. That signal cannot return void. It gathers all circumstances, people, and events necessary to confirm your inner state. Close your eyes and feel it now. Imagine hearing the announcement that your numbers have been drawn. Feel the rush of energy in your chest, the thrill in your stomach, the tears of joy forming in your eyes. Hear yourself laughing, shouting, celebrating, perhaps even stunned in disbelief at how perfectly it unfolded. Let your body react as though it has already happened. That is the secret. The body does not distinguish between an event imagined and an event experienced. When you feel it real, your nervous system accepts it as truth, and the world outside follows suit. Emotion seals the win because it convinces you that it is already yours. Doubt cannot survive where gratitude and excitement live. When you feel grateful, before receiving, you announce to life that you have already received. When you feel relief, you end the struggle and allow the flow of fulfillment. When you feel joy, you align yourself with the frequency of abundance, and abundance must answer. Do not wait for evidence. Evidence waits for you. Each time you step into the feeling of victory now, you shorten the gap between imagination and reality. The delay exists only when you hesitate to feel, but when you embrace the emotion boldly and consistently, you collapse time itself, pulling the jackpot from tomorrow into today. So, celebrate inwardly as if the check is already in your hand. Laugh, sing, dance, or simply breathe in quiet gratitude for what is already yours. The outer world is powerless to deny what has been fully felt. Emotion is the seal, and once the seal is pressed upon your inner vision, nothing can prevent it from taking form. Feel the victory now, and the world will echo back your triumph. Assume the end, ignore the middle, because the moment you claim the result inwardly, the process of how and when becomes irrelevant. The true power lies not in figuring out the steps, but in knowing the outcome is already settled. When you decide firmly that you are the winner, that the jackpot belongs to you, the invisible intelligence of life orchestrates the perfect path. The details that the rational mind obsesses over, the probability, the timing, the method, are shadows that only distract you from the truth. The end is already done. Most people trap themselves in the middle. They imagine the win, but then immediately question how it could happen. They analyze the odds, doubt the timeline, or worry about mistakes. But this constant mental interference is what delays the result. The law of manifestation is simple. What you assume inwardly must reflect outwardly. The assumption is the seed. Once planted, it does not need your interference. It grows by the invisible hand of life. No gardener digs up the seed every hour to check if it is sprouting. The wise one plants, trusts, and rests, knowing the end is guaranteed. When you assume the end, you live from the reality of already having what you desire. You walk differently, you think differently, you respond differently because in your world the result is finished. You may not yet see the evidence, but within you know it. That knowing becomes the magnetic force that draws the sequence of events to deliver it into your physical hands. The middle is none of your concern because the outer world is not the cause, it is the effect. The how is the greatest trap. How will I win? How will the money come? How will the ticket fall into my hands? These questions weaken the assumption because they suggest uncertainty. But when you release the how, you declare trust in the unseen power that governs all outcomes. It can bring the result in ways you cannot predict or imagine. Your responsibility is only to stay fixed on the end, not to control the path. The when is equally deceptive. Time is only the outer measurement of what has already unfolded within. The more certain you are that the end is done, the sooner it appears. Worry about time only delays it, but resting in the assumption accelerates it. Imagine yourself as the winner now. See yourself holding the check, celebrating with family, walking into the bank with confidence. Live there in your mind and refuse to be shaken by appearances. If the outer world seems unchanged, remind yourself, appearances are only echoes of the past. You live in the end, and therefore the middle must fall in place. Assume the end with unwavering certainty, and the universe has no option but to deliver. Ignore the middle, for it is none of your business. Your only task is to know, to feel, and to persist in the result already achieved. The jackpot is yours the moment you claim it inwardly. The rest is automatic. Certainty attracts speed because the universe responds not to hesitation, but to conviction. When you move from hoping to knowing, from wishing to claiming, the gap between desire and fulfillment collapses. The world outside does not delay because of time, it delays because of doubt. The moment you replace uncertainty with absolute inner assurance, events accelerate and the result rushes to meet you. The stronger your knowing, the faster the wind must appear. Because certainty is the highest frequency of command. Consider how hesitation feels. When you waver, when you second guess, when you treat your desire as a possibility instead of a certainty, you send a mixed signal. The outer world mirrors that confusion. You see delays, obstacles, or contradictions, not because the outcome is denied, but because your vibration is scattered. But when you know, when you stand firm in the reality of having already won, there is no room for contradiction. Life must bend quickly to reflect what you have settled within. Certainty is not arrogance, it is alignment. It is the calm assurance that the jackpot is already yours, that the numbers have already been drawn in your favor, that the wealth has already reached your hands. This inner knowing does not wait for evidence, it creates it. Like a magnet that pulls metal instantly, certainty pulls the outcome with speed because there is no resistance between you and your desire. Think of how easily certainty works in your everyday life. When you press a light switch, you do not hope the bulb will turn on, you know it will. When you breathe in, you do not doubt you will breathe out, you know it is guaranteed. This same level of certainty applied to your desire compresses the waiting period. The more natural the assumption feels, the faster it manifests. The delay only exists when you treat the desire as something separate from you. But once you embody the knowing that it is already yours, the gap disappears. The secret is to train your mind into this state of certainty. You do this by living from the end, by feeling the result as accomplished, by affirming again and again that it is finished. Each time you reinforce the inner reality, you dissolve the grip of doubt. And with doubt gone, speed becomes inevitable. The jackpot cannot linger in the unseen when you have already claimed it in the scene of your imagination. Certainty does not beg or chase. It does not look for signs of progress. It rests. It knows. It celebrates even before the prize is visible. And this unwavering confidence is what summons the result at record speed. When you stand in unshakable conviction, the universe rushes to match your frequency, as if racing to keep up with your command. So, if you want your win quickly, cultivate certainty. Drop the questions, release the doubts, stop waiting for outer proof. Declare it done, feel it done, and live as though it is done. The stronger your knowing, the faster the win comes into form. Certainty is the shortcut, the fast lane, the direct route to your jackpot. Live as the winner today, because the secret of manifestation is not waiting for tomorrow, it is embodying the result now. Every thought, every step, every breath should carry the energy of the victory already achieved. When you walk, Walk with the quiet confidence of someone whose fortune is secured. When you breathe, breathe with the relief of one whose struggles have already been resolved. When you celebrate, celebrate with the joy of knowing that the prize is not coming but already here. This state of being is not fantasy. It is the creative power that shapes the outer world to reflect your inner certainty. Most people wait to see evidence before they give themselves permission to feel successful. They postpone their joy until the check arrives, until the numbers are confirmed, until the money is in the account. Yet this waiting is the very reason the result takes so long. Life responds not to hesitation, but to embodiment. The world is a mirror, and it reflects only what you live, not what you hope for. If you want to be the winner tomorrow, you must be the winner in your state of mind today. Living as the winner is not about pretending or forcing, it is about assuming your rightful place. The moment you decide that the jackpot belongs to you, you naturally begin to carry yourself differently. Your conversations shift, your posture changes, your energy radiates confidence and ease. Others may not understand why you feel so certain, but you know the truth. You are simply aligning with the reality that is already yours. By living it now, you call it into visibility with speed and precision. Ask yourself, how would I think if I had already won? How would I move? What would I allow myself to feel? Answer honestly, then begin to embody those answers today. If you would feel grateful, then practice gratitude now. If you would feel free, then breathe freedom into this very moment. If you would celebrate, then let celebration flow through you in advance. The outer world does not require waiting. It requires alignment. Living as the winner also dissolves doubt. When you live from the end, there is no room for questioning whether it will happen, because in your reality, it already has. The doubt that slows so many others cannot survive in the presence of a fully embodied assumption. You do not chase the outcome, you carry it, wear it, and radiate it until the world outside has no choice but to confirm it. So do not push your victory into the future. Claim it now and let your daily life reflect it. Laugh today, breathe deeply today, and walk with the stride of one who already holds the winning ticket. The more naturally you live as the winner now, the faster your outer world will mirror that truth. You are not becoming the winner, you are revealing the winner you already are. Live it and watch your jackpot unfold effortlessly. The outer world obeys the inner command, because everything you see with your eyes is nothing more than a shadow of what has already been decreed within. The ticket, the numbers, the jackpot, these are not random accidents, but reflections of the state you have assumed as true in your inner world. Consciousness is the cause, and the material world is the effect. To try to change the effect without addressing the cause is to chase shadows on the wall while ignoring the light that creates them. The real power lies within, and when you command with certainty, the outer world has no choice but to conform. Many people believe luck determines outcomes, but luck is only the name given to inner assumption played out unconsciously. What one calls chance is simply the result of inner patterns they are unaware they are carrying. Once you awaken to this truth, you stop leaving your destiny to numbers and probability. You realize that what you claim in imagination is law, and the world outside must obey. The numbers that appear on the screen, the ticket you hold, the announcement you hear, all of it, bends itself to reflect what you have already accepted inwardly as fact. Think of the outer world as a mirror. You cannot change the reflection without first changing the image standing before the glass. If you frown at the mirror, the reflection frowns back. If you smile, the reflection smiles too. In the same way, when you assume wealth, freedom, and victory within, the world eventually reflects it through opportunities, coincidences, and the right sequence of events. But if you assume loss, doubt, or failure, the world is just as obedient in reflecting those. The mirror never lies. It simply reflects what stands before it. This is why inner command is everything. The command is not spoken with desperation, but with calm authority. When you declare inwardly, "I am the winner, the jackpot is mine, it is done," you give an instruction to the unseen intelligence that shapes all events. That intelligence does not argue, nor does it delay. It arranges circumstances according to the strength and clarity of your assumption. The outer world is powerless to resist the decree of a settled mind. The ticket you will hold is already yours the moment you accept it inwardly. The numbers that will match are already aligned with your inner state. The jackpot itself is nothing but the outer echo of your inner conviction. To chase after these things outwardly without first commanding them inwardly is futile. But when you rest in the knowing that it is finished, life itself bends to serve you, delivering the wind in perfect order. So stop bowing to appearances, because appearances are only shadows of yesterday's thoughts. Command today with the authority of one who knows the law. Stand in the inner reality of your win and watch how quickly the shadows rearrange themselves to reflect your vision. The outer world has no power of its own. It is obedient, always awaiting instruction. Command wisely, command boldly, and remember, the jackpot is nothing more than the echo of your inner assumption made visible. The truth is simple. Your imagination is the winning ticket, your feelings are the proof, and your certainty seals the deal. When you assume the end and live from it today, you no longer chase results, you command them. The world outside has no power over you. It only reflects back what you have already accepted within. The numbers, the ticket, the jackpot, all of it is nothing more than the shadow of your inner conviction. You do not wait for luck, because luck is only another name for assumption realized. You stand firm, you celebrate early, and you trust completely that what you hold within must reveal itself without. So walk forward as the winner, not tomorrow, not one day, but now. Let every breath, every thought, every step declare your victory. The prize is already yours, and the evidence will unfold in perfect order. Live with certainty, feel with passion, and command with authority, and life cannot deny you. The jackpot is already won, and the next 24 hours will reveal what has long been true within. Thank you.
Life often feels like an endless pursuit of fulfillment, a race where every stride feels heavy and every milestone seems just out of reach. We're constantly told to do more, strive harder, and push ourselves beyond our limits. But what if I told you that your breakthroughs don't lie in doing more? Sometimes the greatest transformations happen when we stop repeating patterns that sabotage us, stop feeding mindsets that hinder us, and stop behaviors that quietly steal our joy and potential. This is about reclaiming your life by recognizing what no longer serves you. It's about shedding the unnecessary weights that drag you down and stepping into a lighter, freer, and more intentional existence. There are 4 things, specific yet universal, that most of us unknowingly do every single day, 4 things that are keeping us from the life we truly desire. You'll not only know what these are, but you'll also feel empowered to let go of them immediately. Because once you do, the life you've been chasing will no longer be just a dream. It will start flowing toward you with ease. Let me ask you a question. Have you ever felt like you're stuck in quicksand? The harder you try, the deeper you sink. You set goals, chase dreams, and yet something always feels off. You're working hard, maybe even harder than those around you, but the results don't reflect your effort. Why? The answer is deceptively simple. It's not what you're doing. It's what you refuse to stop doing. You see, success isn't just about action. It's also about elimination, removing the roadblocks, the habits, the beliefs that quietly sabotage your every step. But here's the twist: the things holding you back are often invisible to you. They're so ingrained in your routine, your mind, your identity, that you don't even question them anymore. They've become a part of your story, whispered by fear, reinforced by doubt, and validated by a world that thrives on conformity. What if I told you that the very behaviors you think are helping you might actually be hurting you? That they're not tools, but chains. And that with every passing day, those chains grow heavier, not because life is against you, but because you're holding on to what no longer serves you. In the next few moments, I'll reveal 4 things you must stop doing immediately. Not tomorrow. Not when it's convenient. Now. Because these 4 things are costing you your dreams, your peace, and your power. The moment you let them go, you'll feel a shift not just in how you move through the world, but in how the world moves toward you. But I must warn you, recognizing these 4 things might make you uncomfortable. Change always does. It's not easy to admit that we've been our own biggest obstacles, but discomfort is the birthplace of growth. If you lean into it, you'll find a clarity that will change your life forever. Stay with me, because by the end of this, you won't just understand what's been holding you back, you'll be ready to break free. One of the most subtle yet destructive ways we sabotage ourselves is by saying yes when deep down we mean no. Every time you agree to something that feels wrong in your gut, you're betraying yourself. You're handing over a piece of your time, energy, and spirit to something that doesn't align with your values, your desires, or your purpose. And here's the truth: those pieces add up. The more you give away, the less of yourself you have left. Why do we do this? Fear. Fear of rejection. Fear of rejection. Fear of disappointing others. Fear of being seen as selfish. But let me tell you something, it's not selfish to protect your peace. It's not selfish to say no to what drains you so you can say yes to what fuels you. In fact, it's one of the greatest acts of self-respect. When you constantly say yes out of obligation or guilt, you're allowing others to dictate your life. You're handing over your power and letting someone else write your story. You're telling the universe that your needs and dreams come second. And when you do that, don't be surprised when the world treats you as an afterthought. But when you start saying no, something incredible happens. You reclaim your boundaries. You create space for what truly matters. You tell the world and yourself that your time and energy are valuable. It's not easy at first. You might feel guilty. People might push back, especially those who have grown accustomed to your constant availability. But remember, every no you give to something that doesn't serve you is a yes to something greater. Think about this. How many times have you said yes to avoid conflict, only to feel resentment later? That resentment isn't just a feeling, it's a message. It's your soul telling you that you strayed from your truth. Listen to that voice. It's there to guide you. The most successful, fulfilled people in the world aren't afraid to say no. They understand that their energy is finite and precious. They know that every time they say yes to something, they're saying no to something else. The question is, what are you willing to sacrifice? Your dreams? Your peace? Your authenticity? Start small. Practice saying no to one thing today that doesn't align with your values or goals. Feel the discomfort and let it pass. Because on the other side of that discomfort is freedom. The freedom to live life on your terms. The freedom to prioritize what truly matters. The freedom to be unapologetically you. Comparison is a thief. It steals your joy, your peace, and your sense of self. It's the silent enemy that creeps into your mind every time you scroll through social media, see someone else's success, or witness someone achieving what you think you deserve. But here's the truth: comparison is a lie. It tricks you into believing that someone else's journey is more valuable than your own. It blinds you to your unique path and makes you forget the magic that resides within you. Why do we compare ourselves? Because we've been conditioned to measure our worth based on external achievements. From a young age, we're taught to compete, to rank ourselves, to believe that life is a zero-sum game. But life isn't a race, it's a masterpiece. And every masterpiece is unique. Comparing yourself to someone else is like comparing a sunrise to a starry night. Both are breathtaking in their own way, and neither diminishes the beauty of the other. When you compare, you're focusing on the surface. You see someone's highlight reel and compare it to your behind-the-scenes struggles. You see their victories, but not the battles they fought to get there. You see their confidence, but not the doubts that haunt them at night. You see their success, but not the failures that paved their way. Understand this: your journey is yours alone. No one else has lived your life, faced your challenges, or dreamed your dreams. No one else has your perspective, your talents, or your potential. When you compare yourself to others, you're diminishing the uniqueness that makes you extraordinary. You're saying, what they have is better than what I can create, but that's not true. What you can create is unmatched because it comes from you. The key to breaking free from comparison is gratitude. Focus on what you have, not what you lack. Celebrate your progress, no matter how small. Every step forward is a victory. Every lesson learned is a gift. Every moment of growth is a testament to your resilience. When you focus on your own journey, you'll realize that you have everything you need to succeed. The people you're comparing yourself to aren't your competition, they're your proof that it's possible. If they can achieve greatness, so can you. Use their success as inspiration, not as a measure of your worth, because your worth isn't. One of the most insidious habits we fall into is seeking validation from others. We crave their approval, their acknowledgement, their praise. We measure our worth by the words and actions of those around us, as though their opinion holds the key to our self-esteem. But let me tell you this: no one's validation will ever fill the void inside you. That void can only be filled by recognizing your own worth. Why do we seek validation? Because we've been taught that our value is external. From childhood, we've been rewarded for pleasing others, for meeting expectations, for earning approval. Over time, we internalize the belief that we are only enough when someone else tells us so. But chasing validation is a losing game. It keeps you running on a treadmill, expending energy without ever reaching a destination. Here's the truth: the approval you seek from others is a reflection of the approval you've withheld from yourself. When you don't believe in your own worth, you outsource that responsibility to the people around you. But their validation is fleeting. It can lift you momentarily, but it will never sustain you. And the moment it's withdrawn, you're left questioning your value all over again. You must stop handing over the power to define your worth. Your value is not up for debate. It's not something others can grant or take away. It exists because you exist. The very fact that you are here, breathing, living, dreaming, is proof of your inherent worth. No one else's opinion can change that. When you seek validation, you give others control over your life. You make choices based on what will please them, not what will fulfill you. You shrink yourself to fit their expectations, even when it feels wrong in your soul. And in doing so, you abandon the most important relationship you'll ever have, the one with yourself. Start practicing self-validation. Look in the mirror and affirm your own worth. Celebrate your achievements, no matter how small. Trust your instincts and honor your desires. When you stop seeking validation from others, you'll find a freedom you've never known. You'll move through life with confidence, unshaken by criticism and untouched by praise. Because you'll know that your worth doesn't depend on anyone else, it's a truth you carry within you. The past has a way of clinging to us, doesn't it? We replay our mistakes, relive our regrets, and let our failures define us. But dwelling on past failures is like carrying a heavy backpack full of stones. You'll never move forward if you're weighed down by what's behind you. The more you focus on the past, the more you allow it to dictate your present and future. It's time to put the backpack down. Why do we dwell on failure? Because failure stings. It bruises our ego and shakes our confidence. We think if I just analyze it enough, I'll figure out where I went wrong. But there's a fine line between learning from the past and living in it. Reflection is productive, rumination is paralyzing. When you constantly relive your failures, you're not learning, you're imprisoning yourself in a cycle of self-doubt. The truth is, failure is not the end of the road. It's a detour. It's a teacher. Every failure carries a lesson, but it's up to you to extract it and move on. The longer you dwell, the longer you delay your growth. Understand this: failure is proof that you tried, that you stepped out of your comfort zone, that you dared to dream. It's not a mark of shame, it's a badge of courage. Your past failures don't define you. They are chapters in your story, not the whole book. You are not the same person you were when you failed. You are wiser, stronger, and more resilient. Every time you fall, you rise with more knowledge and perspective than before. But to embrace that growth, you must let go of the pain, the regret, and the what-ifs. Think about it: the most successful people in the world have failed, often spectacularly. They didn't let those failures stop them. They used them as stepping stones to greater heights. You can do the same. The key is to stop seeing failure as an ending and start seeing it as a beginning. Overthinking is the silent killer of dreams. It's that incessant voice in your head that second guesses every decision, analyzes every possibility, and conjures up every worst-case scenario. Overthinking doesn't solve problems, it creates them. It keeps you stuck in a loop of doubt and fear, paralyzing you from taking the very actions that could transform your life. Why do we overthink? Because we fear making mistakes. We want to avoid pain, disappointment, or failure. But in trying to predict and control every outcome, we end up doing nothing. And doing nothing is the greatest failure of all. Life isn't meant to be lived in your head, it's meant to be experienced with all its messiness, uncertainty, and beauty. The truth is, you'll never have all the answers. You'll never know every possible outcome. And that's okay. Certainty is an illusion. What matters is that you take action despite the uncertainty, because action is what creates clarity. The more you move forward, the clearer the path becomes. But you'll never see that path if you're stuck in the quicksand of overthinking. Think about how much time and energy you waste replaying the same scenarios in your mind. What if you redirected that energy toward action? What if, instead of analyzing every possible outcome, you trusted yourself to handle whatever happens? You are far more capable than you give yourself credit for. You've overcome challenges before, and you'll overcome them again. Trust in your ability to adapt and grow. Overthinking robs you of the present moment. While your mind is busy spinning in circles, life is happening right in front of you. Opportunities are passing by. Joy is being overlooked. Don't let the fear of making a wrong decision prevent you from making any decision at all. Even a wrong decision teaches you something valuable. It moves you forward. It's better than standing still. The antidote to overthinking is action. Start small. Make one decision today without agonizing over it. Commit to it fully, no matter the outcome. With every decision you make, you'll build confidence in yourself. You'll realize that you don't need to have everything figured out, you just need to keep moving forward. Life rewards those who take bold steps, not those who hesitate at the edge. Let go of the need to overthink. Trust yourself. Take the leap. The life you're dreaming of is waiting for you, but you have to stop thinking and start living. Fear is a powerful force. It whispers in your ear, warning you of danger, failure, and rejection. It convinces you to stay small, to avoid risk, to play it safe. But fear, while it feels real, is often just a mirage. It's a projection of your mind, not a reflection of reality. And when you let fear control your actions, you're giving it the power to dictate your life. Why do we let fear take the reins? Because it's uncomfortable to face it. Fear taps into our deepest insecurities and vulnerabilities. It makes us question our worth and our abilities. But here's the truth: fear isn't meant to stop you, it's meant to guide you. It points you toward the areas where you need to grow. It shows you where your greatest opportunities lie. When you let fear control your actions, you're not avoiding failure, you're guaranteeing it. The opportunities you miss, the chances you don't take, the dreams you leave unexplored, they are the true failures. Fear might keep you safe, but it also keeps you small. And you were not born to play small. You were born to expand, to create, to thrive. The key to overcoming fear is not to eliminate it, but to act in spite of it. Courage isn't the absence of fear, it's the decision to move forward even when fear is present. Every time you face a fear, you shrink its power over you. You prove to yourself that you are stronger than the limitations your mind tries to impose. Think about the times in your life when you were most alive, most fulfilled. Were they moments of comfort, or were they moments when you stepped out of your comfort zone? Growth happens on the other side of fear. Every great achievement, every profound transformation, every bold decision, it all begins with the courage to face fear head-on. Fear is a natural part of the human experience. It will always be there, but you have a choice. Will you let it hold you back, or will you let it propel you forward? The life you want, the dreams you carry, the person you aspire to be, they're all waiting for you on the other side of fear. But you have to take the first step. Stop letting fear control your actions. Feel the fear, acknowledge it, and then move forward anyway. Because every time you do, you're not just overcoming fear, you're reclaiming your power. And that power is what will take you to places you've never imagined. Comparison is the thief of joy. It's the silent destroyer of confidence, ambition, and peace of mind. When you compare yourself to others, you're fighting a losing battle because you're measuring your life against an illusion. What you see of others is only the surface, a carefully curated snapshot of their reality. But what you see of yourself is the whole, unfiltered truth. And that truth, my friend, is more than enough. Why do we compare ourselves to others? Because society trains us to. From a young age, we're taught to measure success, beauty, and worth against others. Social media has only magnified this tendency, bombarding us with highlight reels that make us feel like we're falling behind. But here's what you need to remember: someone else's success does not diminish your own. Someone else's path has nothing to do with yours. You are running a race that no one else can compete in, because your journey is uniquely yours. When you compare yourself to others, you're not just wasting time, you're robbing yourself of your own potential. You're focusing on what they have instead of appreciating what you've built. You're letting envy cloud your vision, distracting you from your own growth. Every moment spent comparing is a moment lost from creating, achieving, and becoming the person you're meant to be. Think about this: no one else has your exact talents, dreams, or experiences. No one else sees the world the way you do. And no one else can accomplish what you're here to accomplish. The very act of comparison ignores this fundamental truth. It forces you to overlook your own brilliance and try to mold yourself into someone else's image. But you were not designed to be a copy. You were designed to stand out. Breaking free from comparison starts with gratitude. Focus on what you have, what you've achieved, and what you're capable of. Celebrate your small victories. Remind yourself that your journey is unfolding exactly as it's meant to. Instead of comparing yourself to others, compare yourself to who you were yesterday. That's the only competition that matters, becoming a better version of yourself every single day. When you stop comparing, you'll discover a freedom you've never known. You'll stop feeling less than and start embracing your more than. You'll realize that your worth isn't tied to someone else's success. It's inherent, it's untouchable, and it's yours. How many dreams have you delayed because you're waiting for the perfect moment? How many opportunities have you let slip by because you didn't feel ready? The idea of perfection is a trap. It convinces you that you need all the stars to align before you can take action. But let me tell you a truth that will set you free. There is no perfect moment. The perfect moment is the one you create by starting right now. Why do we wait for perfection? because we're afraid of failure, rejection, or imperfection. We think if I wait until everything is just right, I can avoid the risk, but in reality, waiting doesn't eliminate risk, it multiplies it. The longer you wait, the more you overthink, the more you hesitate, and the more opportunities you let pass by. Perfectionism isn't a shield, it's a cage. The truth is, you'll never feel 100% ready. You'll never have all the answers or all the resources. But you don't need to. Progress doesn't come from perfection, it comes from action. Every step you take, no matter how small or imperfect, brings you closer to your goals. Waiting for the perfect moment keeps you stagnant, but embracing the imperfect moment propels you forward. Think about the people you admire, the innovators, the leaders, the dreamers. Did they wait for everything to be perfect before they started? No. They took the leap, often before they felt ready. They embraced the unknown and trusted themselves to figure it out along the way. And that's what you must do too. The world doesn't reward perfection, it rewards persistence. It rewards those who take risks, who dare to fail, who show up even when it's messy and uncertain. The perfect moment isn't a point in time, it's a mindset. It's the decision to act, to start, to move forward despite the imperfections. So stop waiting. Start writing that book. Launch that business. Pursue that dream. You don't need the perfect moment, you just need the courage to begin. Because once you take the first step, you'll realize that the path unfolds as you walk it. The momentum you create will carry you further than any perfect plan ever could. And before you know it, you'll be living the life you were waiting for. But it all starts with one imperfect, beautiful step. We've journeyed through 4 critical things you must stop doing immediately to unlock the life you desire: doubting yourself, seeking validation from others, overthinking every decision, letting fear control your actions, comparing yourself to others, and waiting for the perfect moment. Each of these habits is like an anchor, holding you back from the vast ocean of possibilities that await you. But the good news is, you hold the power to cut those anchors loose. Life isn't waiting for you to be ready, to feel perfect, or to get someone else's approval. Life is waiting for you to decide. Decide that you are enough as you are. Decide that your dreams are worth the risk. Decide that your happiness isn't tied to anyone else's perception or timeline. Understand this: every moment you hesitate, every time you cling to doubt, fear, or comparison, you're letting your power slip away. You are more capable, resilient, and extraordinary than you give yourself credit for. The time to act is not tomorrow. It's not when things feel easier or less scary. It's now. If you let go of these 4 habits, you'll find a freedom you've never known. You'll discover that you are not bound by circumstances or other people's opinions. You are bound only by the limits you place on yourself. Release those limits. Step into the life that's been waiting for you all along. So I leave you with this: you are the author of your story. No one else can write it for you. And the best chapters, the ones filled with triumph, growth, and joy, begin when you stop holding yourself back. Take the pen, take the leap, and write the masterpiece your life was always meant to be. Now go, live boldly, and take your rightful place in the world. The stage is yours.
In a world where connections, love, and validation often seem just out of reach, many of us fall into the trap of chasing after what we desire. We beg for attention, write heartfelt messages, make endless calls, and pursue relationships or opportunities that slip further away the harder we try. But what if the very act of chasing is what's keeping those things from coming to us? What if the answer isn't in doing more, but in doing less? This is not about giving up, it's about reclaiming your power. It's about recognizing that true value, love, and success come when you align with the energy of what you want rather than exhausting yourself chasing it. Today we're diving deep into the art of attraction through self-assurance. This isn't just theory, it's a transformation. We're discussing why you should never beg, chase, write, or call for what you desire, and how to let things flow naturally into your life. Prepare to rethink everything you've been taught about pursuing what you want. By the end of this, you'll understand why stepping back might be the most powerful move you can make. Have you ever noticed how the harder you run after something, the faster it seems to slip through your fingers? Whether it's love, success, or even a dream opportunity, the energy of desperation pushes it further away. Why? Because desperation speaks of lack, and lack never attracts abundance. Imagine for a moment a butterfly. If you chase it wildly, it flutters further and further out of your grasp. But when you sit still, calm and grounded, it might just land gently on your shoulder. That butterfly is everything you've been chasing: peace, love, opportunity, and fulfillment. And the truth is, you don't need to run after it. But here's the suspenseful part: what happens when you stop chasing, stop calling, and stop begging? Will everything fall apart? Will you lose what you desire most? Or will you discover the power you've had all along, the power to attract rather than pursue? You see, in life, the more we seek validation or chase after people and things, the more we signal to the universe that we're incomplete. We affirm that we don't have enough, and the universe responds in kind. But when we stand firm in our worth, when we act as though what we desire is already ours, something miraculous happens. Today we'll explore the profound shift that happens when you step into your own energy. Why should you let go of the compulsion to chase? How can you align yourself with the flow of what you truly desire? And most importantly, how can you reclaim your power by simply letting go of the need to beg, chase, write, or call? Stay with me as we unpack this life-changing perspective. Because once you understand this principle, you'll never approach relationships, opportunities, or desires the same way again. When you chase something, be it a person, an opportunity, or even a dream, you are, perhaps unknowingly, broadcasting a message to the universe: I don't have this. I need this. I am incomplete without this. This energy of lack doesn't inspire, attract, or manifest. Instead, it repels. Why? Because the energy of lack is rooted in fear, insecurity, and desperation. These are the vibrations that push away the very things you desire. Imagine standing in front of a mirror and shouting, I need you to love me. What does the reflection do? It doesn't embrace you, it doesn't respond with affection. It simply reflects back the energy you give it. This is life. The universe acts as that mirror, amplifying what you project. When you act out of neediness or desperation, it reflects that same energy right back to you. Chasing is an admission of doubt. It's telling yourself and the world that you don't believe you are enough on your own. But here's the truth: you are enough. Your worth isn't determined by the things or people you run after. It is intrinsic. Chasing turns you into a beggar for what you should be a ruler of. Now let's consider this. If what you desire was truly yours, would you chase it? Would a queen chase her crown, or a king beg for his throne? No. They walk with the quiet confidence that what belongs to them will find its way to them. And this isn't arrogance, it's alignment. Chasing also weakens your power. Every time you run after something, you are diverting your energy outward instead of inward. This energy, when directed inward, can build resilience, self-worth, and magnetism. When you chase, you scatter your energy, exhausting yourself in the process. But when you hold steady and focus on your own growth, you radiate an undeniable strength that draws everything you need directly to you. It's not about sitting idle or doing nothing. It's about understanding that your power doesn't lie in the pursuit. It lies in your presence. When you stop chasing, you reclaim your dignity and your voice. You declare to the universe, I am whole, I am worthy, and I trust what's mine will come. Think of the most successful, confident people you know. Do they chase or do they attract? Their energy is grounded in knowing, not needing. And that's where you must anchor yourself to. Stop running after life. Let life run to you. The truth is simple: you attract what you are, not what you want. If your energy is chaotic, desperate, or needy, you will draw in chaos, rejection, and resistance. But when your energy is calm, confident, and self-assured, the universe has no choice but to match that frequency. Energy is the language of the unseen. It's the force that moves people, circumstances, and opportunities toward or away from you. Think about it when someone enters a room full of self-assurance. They don't need to shout, beg, or draw attention to themselves. Their energy speaks louder than words. People are naturally drawn to them because confidence is magnetic. Now let's apply this to your desires. If you are constantly emitting energy that screams, "I'm not enough, I don't have what I need," or "please pick me," the world responds in kind. It says, "You're right, you're not enough." But the moment you step into the energy of abundance, acting as though you already possess what you seek, you become unstoppable. This is not pretense or pretending. It's embodying the reality of your desires before they materialize. You don't wait for the world to validate your worth, you decide your worth. And the world aligns. It's the shift from being a seeker to being a receiver. Here's an analogy. Imagine you're a radio. To hear a specific station, you must tune into its frequency. You can't demand the station changes to suit your current setting. The same applies to life. To attract love, success, or opportunity, you must vibrate at their frequency. You must become the energy of what you want. Energy is subtle but unmistakable. If your energy exudes confidence, self-love, and security, others feel it. They may not consciously understand it, but they will respond to it. Opportunities will find their way to you, and people will be drawn to your authenticity. This is why the energy of chasing fails. It carries the vibration of not enough. Shifting your energy doesn't mean you ignore your desires. It means you stop needing them to feel whole. When you radiate completeness, the universe responds with abundance. You attract not because you lack, but because you overflow. Remember, everything is energy. Money, love, success, these are just forms of energy. When you align with their frequency, you don't chase them, they flow to you. So step into the energy of abundance. Be the person who already has what they desire, and watch how the world transforms around you. Sometimes the most powerful thing you can do is say nothing at all. Silence is not weakness, it is strength. It is the space where clarity is born, where dignity resides, and where the greatest transformations take place. Silence is your way of saying, "I don't need to convince, beg, or chase. I know my worth and I stand firm in it." When you stop explaining yourself, stop pleading for someone's attention, and stop chasing after what seems elusive, you create a vacuum. And nature abhors a vacuum. That silence you hold is a magnet. It draws attention, respect, and opportunities in ways words never could. Think about this. Why do people often regret losing someone who walked away quietly with no drama, no explanations? It's because silence demands reflection. It forces others to confront their own actions without the distraction of your words. When you stay silent, you leave no room for arguments or excuses. You create an undeniable presence that lingers long after you're gone. Silence also communicates strength. It tells the world that you are in control of your emotions, that you are not ruled by impulsive reactions. People are drawn to those who can remain composed under pressure. When you don't react, you maintain power. You let others wonder, question, and most importantly, respect you. Now consider this: how often do we ruin opportunities or relationships by saying too much? By over-explaining, over-apologizing, or over-justifying ourselves. Silence eliminates this risk. It allows you to communicate not from a place of fear, but from a place of confidence. Silence is also a form of detachment. When you stop chasing and start trusting the flow of life, you don't need to fill every space with noise. Your silence becomes a testament to your faith in yourself and the universe. It says, "I trust that what's meant for me will come, and I don't need to fight for it." Silence creates mystery, and mystery is magnetic. When you're not always accessible, not always explaining yourself, people become curious. They start wondering what's behind your calm demeanor, and that curiosity draws them closer. So don't underestimate the power of silence. It's not about shutting people out, it's about knowing when to stop giving away your power. Sometimes saying nothing is the loudest message of all. Trust. Such a simple word, yet often the hardest thing to embody. To trust the process means to let go of control, to believe that everything is unfolding as it should, even when it doesn't seem like it. It's about releasing the need to force outcomes, to chase, or to manipulate situations into what you think they should be. Trusting the process is the ultimate act of faith in yourself and in the universe. Think about planting a seed. You don't dig it up every day to check if it's growing. You water it, give it sunlight, and let nature take its course. Trusting the process works the same way. When you set your intention, done your part, and aligned yourself with the energy of what you want, your only job is to wait and believe. The universe, like nature, has its timing. But why is this so hard for us? Because we are wired to seek control. When things don't happen immediately, doubt creeps in. Fear takes over. We start chasing, calling, begging anything to force the outcome. But this is counterproductive. The energy of forcing disrupts the natural flow of manifestation. It's like trying to speed up a flower's bloom by pulling on its petals. You only end up destroying it. Trusting the process doesn't mean doing nothing. It means taking inspired action, then stepping back. It's about finding balance between effort and surrender. You do your part, then release the outcome. This release isn't giving up. It's a declaration of faith. It's saying, I know this will come to me because I've aligned myself with it. When you trust the process, you free yourself from the burden of anxiety. You stop overthinking, stop obsessing, and stop chasing. Instead, you create space for the universe to work its magic. Trust transforms you from a pursuer into a receiver. And here's the paradox: when you truly trust, when you no longer need something to happen, that's often when it does. Why? Because trust aligns you with abundance, not lack. It sends a clear message to the universe: I am ready. I am patient. I know it's already mine. So release the grip of control. Trust that every delay has a purpose, every rejection is redirection, and every step is leading you to exactly where you're meant to be. Faith is not just believing in the unseen, it's acting as though it's already seen. Trust the process and watch how life unfolds in your favor. The way the world treats you is a reflection of how you treat yourself. If you don't value yourself, why should anyone else? Valuing yourself means recognizing your worth without seeking external validation. It means standing firm in your boundaries, your goals, and your self-respect. When you truly value yourself, begging, chasing, writing, or calling for approval becomes irrelevant. Imagine a precious gem sitting on a pedestal. Does the gem plead for attention? No, because its value is inherent. People recognize its worth without the gem doing anything. You are that gem. The moment you realize your worth, the dynamics around you begin to shift. You attract people and opportunities that align with your self-respect. When you don't value yourself, you subconsciously teach others to undervalue you as well. Every time you overextend, apologize excessively, or compromise your dignity to gain someone's attention, you send a message: I don't believe I'm enough. But when you value yourself, you radiate a different energy. You communicate without words that you deserve respect, kindness, and effort. Valuing yourself starts with how you speak to yourself. What's the tone of your internal dialogue? Do you criticize yourself endlessly or celebrate your strengths? Self-worth begins with self-talk. The moment you replace self-doubt with self-appreciation, the external world mirrors that back to you. Now, valuing yourself doesn't mean arrogance. It's not about thinking you're better than others. It's about knowing that you are enough exactly as you are. It's about recognizing that your worth doesn't depend on external achievements or relationships. It's intrinsic. When you value yourself, you stop chasing things that deplete you. You stop trying to prove your worth to those who don't see it. You understand that rejection is not a reflection of your inadequacy but a sign of misalignment. You choose to walk away from what doesn't serve you, not because you don't care, but because you care deeply about your own peace. Valuing yourself also means setting boundaries. It means saying no to things that drain you and yes to things that nourish you. It's not selfish, it's necessary. When you prioritize your well-being, you show the world that you take yourself seriously. And when you take yourself seriously, others have no choice but to follow suit. So stop waiting for others to validate your worth. Decide it for yourself. Once you value yourself fully, the need to chase, beg, or plead disappears. You become the magnet, and everything meant for you finds its way. Detachment is not about giving up on your desires. It's about releasing your grip on them. It's about understanding that your happiness, peace, and sense of self are not tied to any external person, outcome, or circumstance. Detachment is freedom from the exhausting cycle of chasing, forcing, and clinging. When you cling to something, whether it's a person, a job, or a dream, you suffocate it. Imagine holding a butterfly in your hand. If you grip it tightly, you'll crush it. But if you hold it loosely, it can rest on your palm and fly when it's ready. This is the essence of detachment. It's about holding space for what you desire without strangling it with neediness. Detachment is not indifference. It's not about saying, I don't care, it's about saying, I care, but I trust. It's the ability to want something while knowing you'll be okay without it. This doesn't diminish your desires, it strengthens your power to manifest them. Why? Because detachment shifts your energy from desperation to trust. When you detach, you stop giving power to external things. You reclaim your energy and direct it inward. You stop saying, I need this to feel complete, and start saying, I am complete as I am. This shift is profound. It liberates you from the fear of loss and opens you to the joy of possibility. Detachment also allows you to see clearly. When you're too attached, your judgment becomes clouded. You may hold on to something toxic out of fear of letting go. But detachment gives you perspective. It allows you to evaluate whether something is truly meant for you or if it's time to release it. The irony of detachment is that the moment you let go, you often receive. Why? Because attachment creates resistance. It sends a signal of lack and fear to the universe. But when you release that resistance, you create space for abundance to flow. Detachment is the ultimate act of faith. It's saying, I trust that what's meant for me will come, and I don't need to force it. Practicing detachment doesn't mean you stop caring. It means you care deeply, but without obsession. It means you pursue your goals, nurture your relationships, and live your life without tying your worth or happiness to any one thing. Detachment is not giving up, it's rising above. It's stepping into a state of being where you are no longer controlled by external circumstances. So let go of the need to control. Release the grip of fear. Trust the flow of life. When you detach, you set yourself free, and freedom is where true power resides. Confidence is the antidote to compulsion. Compulsion comes from fear of missing out, fear of rejection, fear of being forgotten. Confidence, on the other hand, comes from trust in your worth and faith in the process of life. When you operate from a place of confidence, you don't feel the need to beg, chase, write, or call. You know that what is meant for you will come to you. Confidence is not about arrogance or being loud, it's about being rooted. It's about walking into any situation knowing that you belong, not because someone else said so, but because you decided so. Confidence is the quiet power that says, I don't need to prove myself to anyone. My value speaks for itself. Think about how the most magnetic people carry themselves. They aren't the ones constantly seeking validation or approval. They aren't the ones over-apologizing or over-explaining. They move with purpose, speak with intention, and act from a place of assurance. That assurance is what draws others in. When you lack confidence, you give away your power. You let other people's opinions dictate your actions. You bend over backward to gain their approval, often at the expense of your own peace. But true confidence doesn't seek approval, it creates it. It doesn't chase after opportunities, it attracts them. Confidence is built through self-acknowledgement. Start by celebrating your wins, no matter how small. Each time you recognize your strengths, you reinforce your sense of self-worth. Confidence also grows through self-discipline. When you set goals and follow through, you prove to yourself that you can be trusted. That self-trust becomes the foundation of your confidence. Compulsion, on the other hand, is chaotic. It stems from a lack of clarity and an abundance of fear. Compulsion is the frantic need to do something, to text them one more time, to call them just to make sure, to write and explain yourself again. But every compulsive action sends a message to the universe: I don't trust myself. I don't trust the process. I am desperate. Confidence allows you to step back. It lets you hold space for yourself instead of filling every void with unnecessary action. Confidence knows when to speak and when to stay silent. It knows that silence can often be more powerful than words. So choose confidence over compulsion. The next time you feel the urge to chase or force something, pause. Remind yourself that you are enough as you are. Let your confidence do the talking and watch how the world responds to your quiet power. Chasing is exhausting. It drains your energy, erodes your confidence, and places you in a position of lack. Chasing says, I need this to complete me, and that energy pushes what you want further away. But when you stop chasing and become a magnet instead, everything shifts. Becoming a magnet means aligning with your desires, not running after them. It means radiating such a strong sense of self-worth that what you seek naturally gravitates toward you. A magnet doesn't move, it pulls. It doesn't beg or plead, it attracts effortlessly. To become a magnet, you must first understand that your energy is your greatest asset. When you are grounded, confident, and in alignment with your desires, you emit a frequency that draws people and opportunities to you. This isn't magic, it's the law of resonance, like attracts like. Becoming a magnet starts with embodying the qualities you seek. If you desire love, radiate love. If you seek success, carry yourself as if you are already successful. This isn't about pretending, it's about stepping into the version of yourself that already has what you want. When you chase, you emit desperation. That desperation repels. It's like trying to grab water with your hands. The harder you grasp, the more it slips away. But when you become a magnet, you move into a state of trust. You understand that you don't need to force anything, because what's meant for you will come to you. Being a magnet also requires boundaries. You don't let just anyone into your space. You don't settle for less than you deserve. Boundaries aren't walls, they are filters. They ensure that what enters your life aligns with your value. A magnet doesn't pull in everything, it attracts only what matches its energy. Patience is another key to magnetism. Magnets don't rush, they trust their pull. Similarly, when you're aligned with your desires, you don't need to chase after them frantically. You can wait with grace, knowing that the right opportunities are on their way. Gratitude amplifies your magnetism. When you appreciate what you already have, you signal to the universe that you're ready for more. Gratitude raises your vibration, making you a beacon for abundance. Stop chasing. Start attracting. Step into your power as a magnet and watch as the things you once ran after begin to find their way to you. Let the pull of your energy speak louder than any words or actions. In life, we often believe that effort, relentless, tireless effort, is the only path to getting what we want. But true power lies not in chasing or begging, but in trusting and becoming. When you stop writing, calling, chasing, or pleading, you shift from desperation to dignity, from scarcity to abundance. You reclaim your energy and stand rooted in your self-worth, knowing that what is meant for you will find you in its own time. Every key point we've discussed: letting go of desperation, trusting the process, valuing yourself, practicing detachment, cultivating confidence, and becoming a magnet, leads to one central truth: you are enough. The moment you internalize this truth, the need to prove yourself, chase others, or seek external validation vanishes. You realize that your energy is far too precious to waste on things or people that do not recognize your value. Closing this chapter of chasing is not an act of giving up, it's an act of rising higher. It's about choosing yourself over external approval. It's about walking away from what drains you and making space for what uplifts you. It's about trusting the flow of life, understanding that what is truly yours will never pass you by. So I urge you, don't beg, don't chase, don't write, don't call. Instead, stand in your power. Let your presence speak louder than any words ever could. Trust that the universe knows your heart and is working in your favor, even when you can't see it. As you move forward, remember this life responds to your energy. Carry yourself with the quiet confidence of someone who knows their worth. Hold your head high and your standards higher. Let go of anything that doesn't serve you and trust that by doing so, you are making room for something far greater. The choice is yours, and it starts now. Will you continue chasing, or will you rise to meet the life that is waiting for you? Thank you for listening, and remember, you are enough, just as you are.
There is a power so profound, so transformative, that it can reshape the entire course of your life. A power gifted to you by God Himself, hidden not because it is inaccessible, but because we have overlooked it. This power is not a secret in the traditional sense. It has been written about, whispered in scriptures, and shared in moments of divine revelation. Yet it remains unused, neglected, and underestimated. Why? Because its simplicity hides its greatness, and its potential requires a level of faith and imagination many fear to embrace. You possess this power. It is within you now, waiting to be awakened, ready to turn dreams into reality and sorrow into joy. But most of us are blind to it. In a world of distractions, we look outward for solutions, while this divine gift lies dormant within. Today we will unveil it. We will explore what it is, why it remains unused, and how you can activate it to change your life. But before we reveal it, let's understand why so few have grasped this profound truth, despite its availability to all. Let me ask you something. Have you ever wondered why some people seem to effortlessly create the lives they desire, while others struggle endlessly, caught in a cycle of despair? Is it luck? Fate? Or is there something more, a force they've tapped into that others have ignored? Pause for a moment. Look around your life. Every triumph and every failure, every joy and every pain, you created it. And before you argue that circumstances are beyond your control, I urge you to consider this: what if everything you've experienced is the result of this secret power you've been unknowingly using, but without direction? Are you ready to discover what this power is? Are you ready to unlock the part of you that was designed to mirror the divine? Stay with me, and by the end of this message, you will not only understand what this power is, but also how to use it to transform your life completely. Imagination is not a mere daydream or a fleeting thought. It is the divine engine of creation. God, in His infinite wisdom, gifted you this extraordinary ability to see beyond your current reality, to dream of what could be, and to mold the unseen into existence. It is through imagination that the invisible becomes visible and the impossible becomes possible. Consider this: every great invention, every masterpiece, every breakthrough humanity has ever witnessed began in the mind of someone who dared to imagine it. Before the light bulb illuminated the world, it was a vision in the mind of Edison. Before skyscrapers pierced the heavens, they were sketches in the minds of architects. And before any meaningful change occurs in your life, it must first be born in the sacred space of your imagination. Most people underestimate the power of their imagination. They allow it to wander aimlessly, focusing on fears, doubts, and limitations. But what if you took control of it? What if, instead of imagining failure, you envisioned success? What if you used your mind not to replay the disappointments of the past, but to create the life you truly desire? Imagination is the preview of life's coming attractions. It is God's way of showing you what is possible when you align your thoughts with your desires. Close your eyes for a moment and picture the life you want. See it clearly, as if it is already yours. Feel the emotions of living that life: joy, peace, abundance. This is not fantasy, this is the first step in turning your desires into reality. You are not bound by the circumstances of today. You are only bound by the limits of your imagination. If you can see it in your mind, you can hold it in your hands. But to unleash this power, you must cultivate your imagination deliberately. Feed it with visions of greatness. Remove the clutter of negativity and doubt that clouds its potential. Imagination is not limited by time, space, or resources. It doesn't care about your current situation, your bank account, or the opinions of others. It simply responds to the clarity and conviction of your vision. God has given you this sacred tool, and it is up to you to wield it with purpose and precision. Remember, imagination is the first act of creation. In the beginning, God Himself imagined the heavens and the earth before they came into being. You were created in His image, which means you possess the same creative power. Whatever you imagine with faith and persistence will manifest in your reality. Faith is the divine spark that brings imagination to life. Without faith, even the most vivid visions remain dormant, locked in the realm of possibilities. Faith is not just belief, it is the absolute conviction that what you see in your mind and feel in your heart is as real as the air you breathe. It is the force that bridges the gap between imagination and reality. Faith is not passive, it is active. It requires you to act and think as though your desires are already fulfilled. When you have faith, you don't hope for something to happen, you know it will. You don't ask, what if it doesn't work? Instead, you declare with unwavering certainty, it is done. Imagine a farmer planting seeds in the ground. He does not dig them up every day to see if they are growing. He waters them, tends to them, and trusts the process. That is faith in action. The same principle applies to the visions you hold in your imagination. Once you plant the seed of an idea, faith nurtures it and allows it to grow. But here's the truth: most people struggle with faith because they rely too heavily on what they can see with their eyes. They let the visible dictate the possible. Faith, however, is not about what you see, it's about what you know deep within your soul. It's about walking by faith, not by sight. Faith is the language of the divine. It signals to God that you trust Him, that you believe in His promises, and that you are ready to receive what He has already prepared for you. The moment you align your faith with your imagination, you activate a creative force that is unstoppable. Faith is not free from challenges. Doubts will whisper in your ear. Circumstances may seem to contradict your desires. People around you might scoff at your dreams. But true faith persists. It remains unshaken in the face of adversity, knowing that what is unseen is far greater than what is seen. Faith is not just a feeling, it is a decision. It is the choice to believe in the power of your imagination and in the promises of God, even when everything around you suggests otherwise. It is the courage to take steps toward your vision, even when the path is unclear. God has given you the ability to dream, but He has also given you the gift of faith to bring those dreams to life. Faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. It is the engine that propels you forward when doubt tries to hold you back. You may not see how your vision will come to pass, but that's not your job. Your job is to imagine it, believe it, and act as if it is already yours. God's job is to make the way. Faith is the bridge between your current reality and the life you are destined to live. So dare to believe in what you cannot yet see. Dare to trust that God has already equipped you with everything you need to fulfill your purpose. When you combine imagination with faith, you unlock the divine power that has been waiting for you all along. Belief is the foundation upon which your reality is built. Every action you take, every decision you make, and every result you experience stems from one thing: what you believe to be true. God, in His infinite wisdom, created us to operate according to the power of belief. If your beliefs are aligned with your desires, the possibilities are endless. But if they are rooted in doubt, fear, or limitation, they will act as chains, holding you back from your true potential. Belief is more than a thought. It is the deep, unshakable conviction that what you accept as true will shape your life. Look at your current circumstances, your career, relationships, finances, and health. They are mirrors reflecting the beliefs you've held, whether consciously or unconsciously. Now ask yourself, what beliefs are you holding on to that no longer serve you? Maybe you believe that success is only for others, that love is hard to find, or that your past defines your future. These beliefs are not laws, they are constructs of your mind. And the moment you decide to change them, your reality begins to shift. God gave you the authority to choose your beliefs. You are not a victim of your thoughts, you are the master of them. When you align your beliefs with God's truth, you tap into a divine power that can move mountains. But here's the challenge: most people believe what they see, not what they want to see. They let external circumstances dictate their internal beliefs. This is backward. Reality is not something you passively experience, it is something you actively create. Your beliefs are the blueprint, and the world around you is the structure built from it. Imagine for a moment that you are building a house. If the blueprint is flawed, the house will be unstable. Similarly, if your beliefs are filled with doubt, fear, or lack, your life will reflect that instability. But if your beliefs are rooted in abundance, love, and faith, your reality will be a masterpiece. Belief is the fuel that powers your imagination and faith. Without it, even the grandest vision and strongest faith cannot manifest. This is why you must guard your beliefs fiercely. Surround yourself with people, ideas, and environments that nurture your dreams rather than diminish them. God has placed no limits on what you can achieve, but your beliefs can act as self-imposed barriers. Break free from them. Challenge every thought that tells you you can't, and replace it with the truth that with God, all things are possible. When you believe this at your core, you unlock the divine power within you. Words are not just sounds or symbols, they are creative forces. God himself demonstrated this when he spoke the universe into being. Let there be light, he said, and light appeared. In the same way, the words you speak have the power to shape your reality. This is a gift God has given to each of us, a divine ability to call things into existence. But most people misuse this power. They speak words of doubt, fear, and negativity, not realizing they are planting seeds that will grow into the very circumstances they wish to avoid. How often do you hear yourself say, "I can't, I'm not good enough," or "this will never happen for me"? Each time you do, you are reinforcing a reality that aligns with those words. Now, imagine the opposite. Imagine speaking words of faith, love, and abundance. Imagine declaring, "I am capable, I am worthy, and God's blessings are chasing me down." These words are not just affirmations, they are commands to the universe, aligning your reality with God's truth. When you speak, you are engaging with the same creative power that formed the world. Your words carry energy, intention, and authority. They have the power to uplift or destroy, to build or tear down. This is why it is vital to choose them wisely. Think of your words as seeds. What kind of garden are you planting with your speech? Are you sowing seeds of doubt and despair, or are you planting seeds of hope and abundance? Remember, every word you speak will bear fruit. It may not happen overnight, but rest assured it will come to pass. Some may wonder, how can I speak positively when my circumstances are negative? This is where faith and belief come into play. You must speak not as things are, but as you desire them to be. If you are facing lack, declare abundance. If you are surrounded by chaos, speak peace. If you feel weak, proclaim strength. God has given you the authority to speak life into your situation. But to do so effectively, you must align your words with your imagination and belief. It's not enough to say the right things, you must feel them, believe them, and persist in them. Speak as though your desires have already come to pass, and watch as your reality begins to align with your declarations. When you master the art of speaking life, you become a co-creator with God. You step into the fullness of the power He has entrusted to you. So speak boldly, speak confidently, and most importantly, speak with the unwavering faith that your words have the power to change everything. Focus is the laser-like precision that transforms scattered energy into a concentrated force. It is the ability to direct your thoughts, emotions, and actions toward a singular goal without distraction. God has gifted us this secret power, but many fail to use it effectively. Instead, they allow their minds to drift, pulled in 1,000 directions by external noise and internal doubt. Imagine a magnifying glass held under the sun. When its energy is dispersed, it warms but accomplishes little. However, when the lens focuses the sun's rays on a single point, it ignites a fire. This is the power of focus. Without it, your efforts may be warm but ineffective. With it, you can set the world ablaze with your purpose. Distractions are the enemy of focus. In today's world, they are everywhere: endless notifications, constant comparisons, and the ceaseless chatter of a busy mind. Most people allow these distractions to scatter their attention, robbing them of the energy needed to manifest their dreams. But you are different. You have the ability to train your focus, to shield your mind from what does not serve you, and to concentrate fully on what does. Focus is a choice. It is the discipline to say no to what is irrelevant so you can say yes to what matters. It is the art of holding your vision steady, even when the storms of life try to shake you. When you focus on your desires with unwavering clarity, you activate a divine force that works tirelessly on your behalf. Think about this: whatever you focus on expands. If you focus on lack, you will see more lack. If you focus on abundance, you will attract more abundance. This is not magic, it is a spiritual law. Your focus directs your energy, and your energy creates your reality. But focus requires more than intention, it demands persistence. It's easy to focus on your dreams when everything is going well, but true power lies in maintaining that focus when challenges arise. Doubts will creep in. Obstacles will appear. Others may try to pull you off course. This is when you must remind yourself of the power within you, a power given by God to stay the course no matter what. God did not give you this power so it could lie dormant. He entrusted you with focus so you could achieve what others deem impossible. Use it wisely. Block out the noise, silence the doubts, and fix your gaze on your vision. When you harness the strength of focus, nothing can stand in your way. Persistence is the divine force that turns failure into triumph. It is the power to keep moving forward, to keep believing, and to keep working, even when the odds seem stacked against you. God has given you this gift, knowing that the path to your dreams will not always be smooth. Persistence is the bridge that carries you from where you are to where you're meant to be. Many people give up too soon. They pray, dream, and take action, but the moment they face resistance, they retreat. They mistake temporary setbacks for permanent defeat. But here is the truth: success is not reserved for the most talented or the luckiest, it is reserved for those who refuse to quit. Persistence is not about perfection. It is not about getting everything right on the first try. It is about showing up day after day with faith in your heart and determination in your soul. Every great accomplishment in history is a testament to persistence. The Wright brothers didn't create flight in a single attempt. Thomas Edison didn't invent the light bulb without countless failures. And your journey will not be without its trials. But if you persist, victory is inevitable. Persistence is fueled by your why. Why do you want what you desire? Why are you willing to endure the challenges? When your why is strong enough, nothing can deter you. Your purpose becomes your anchor, grounding you when the winds of doubt try to blow you off course. Understand these challenges are not barriers, they are stepping stones. Every obstacle you face is an opportunity to grow stronger, wiser, and more prepared for the blessings God has in store for you. And persistence transforms these challenges into lessons, and these lessons into breakthroughs. But persistence also requires trust in yourself. Trust in the process and trust in God's timing. Sometimes your efforts may not yield immediate results. The seed you planted may not sprout overnight. This is when persistence becomes your greatest ally. It reminds you to keep going, to keep believing, and to keep working, even when you cannot yet see the fruits of your labor. God has equipped you with everything you need to succeed, but He also requires you to play your part. Persistence is that part. It is your commitment to keep walking, even when the path is unclear. It is your refusal to give up, even when giving up seems easier. It is your declaration to the world that you will not stop until your vision becomes your reality. Every step you take, no matter how small, brings you closer to your dreams. Persistence is not about speed, it is about progress. It is about staying the course, trusting that each effort, each moment of faith, and each act of courage is building the foundation for your success. Keep going. God's promises are always worth the wait. Gratitude is not merely a polite acknowledgement, it is a profound spiritual force. It is the secret key that unlocks the treasures of life. When you embrace gratitude, you align yourself with the abundance of God's creation. You begin to attract more of what you cherish and desire, because gratitude amplifies the energy of receiving. Too often, people focus on what they lack rather than what they already have. They look at their lives and see only the gaps, the missing pieces, the unfulfilled dreams. This mindset blocks the flow of blessings. But why would the universe pour more into a vessel that doesn't appreciate what it already holds? Gratitude, however, changes everything. It tells the universe, I am ready for more. Imagine walking through a lush garden. If you focus only on the weeds, you miss the beauty of the flowers. But if you appreciate the flowers, you nurture their growth. The same is true in life. Gratitude is the water that helps your blessings grow. When you give thanks for what you have, even the smallest things, you invite God to multiply them. Gratitude shifts your perspective. It turns your attention away from scarcity and redirects it to abundance. Consider this: you are alive. You have air to breathe, a heart that beats, and a mind capable of dreaming. These are gifts, yet how often do we take them for granted? When you start your day with gratitude for these simple yet profound blessings, you set a tone of abundance that carries through everything you do. Gratitude is not passive, it is active. It's not just about saying thank you when something good happens. It's about embodying a state of thankfulness in every moment, even when circumstances seem less than ideal. When you express gratitude for challenges, you transform them into opportunities. You see the lesson, the growth, the hidden blessing. Start practicing gratitude today. Write down 3 things you are thankful for every morning. Say thank you not just with your words, but with your actions, your attitude, and your energy. As you do, you'll notice a shift. The weight of worry will lift, replaced by a sense of peace and contentment. Gratitude is a magnet for miracles. It aligns you with the vibration of God's abundance and opens the floodgates for blessings to pour into your life. The more grateful you are, the more you will find to be grateful for. This is not just a nice idea, it is a divine law. Gratitude activates the power within you to manifest your desires and live in harmony with God's plan for your life. Visualization is the art of seeing with the mind what has not yet manifested in the physical world. It is God's way of allowing you to preview your destiny, to step into your desires before they become reality. When you visualize, you tap into the secret power of creation, a gift given to you by God Himself. Most people underestimate the power of their imagination. They see it as a child's plaything, not realizing it is one of the most potent tools they possess. Your imagination is the workshop where your dreams take shape. It is the canvas on which you paint the life you want. When used with intention, visualization becomes the bridge between your current reality and your ultimate destiny. The process is simple yet profound. Close your eyes and see yourself living the life you desire. Feel the emotions, the joy, the fulfillment, as though it is already yours. Don't just picture it, experience it. Engage all your senses. What does it look like, sound like, feel like? The more vivid your visualization, the stronger the impression it leaves on your subconscious mind. But visualization is not just about dreaming, it is about aligning. When you visualize consistently, you align your thoughts, emotions, and actions with the vision you hold. This alignment creates a magnetic pull, drawing the circumstances, opportunities, and people needed to bring your vision to life. Many people struggle with visualization because they doubt its power. They think, how can imagining something make it real? But consider this: everything that exists in the physical world began as a thought. The buildings, the inventions, the art, all of it was first conceived in someone's imagination. Visualization is simply the first step in the creative process. But God gave you the ability to imagine for a reason. He wants you to use this gift to co-create with Him, to bring forth the desires He has placed in your heart. When you visualize, you are not just daydreaming, you are partnering with the divine. Make visualization a daily practice. Set aside time each day to focus on your desires. Close your eyes, breathe deeply, and step into the life you are creating. Let your imagination run free, unburdened by doubt or limitation. And as you visualize, hold on to the faith that what you see in your mind will soon be what you see with your eyes. Visualization is not just a tool, it is a discipline. The more you practice it, the more powerful it becomes. Over time, your visions will start to feel less like fantasies and more like previews of reality. And when that happens, you will know that you are on the verge of manifesting the life God intended for you. My friends, the secret power God has given us is not a mystery hidden away, but a gift lying dormant within us, waiting to be awakened. This power, the ability to transform our lives through belief, faith, focus, persistence, gratitude, visualization, and self-awareness has been ours all along. Yet so many of us walk through life unaware, like a person carrying a key, but never realizing it unlocks the door to everything they've ever desired. Today I urge you to reclaim that power. Let go of the doubts that whisper, "This isn't for you," or the fears that say, "You are not ready." These gifts from God are for everyone, and they are especially for you. They are divine tools meant to help you rise above your circumstances, transcend your limitations, and create a life of purpose, abundance, and joy. Remember, your thoughts are seeds, your focus is the sun, your persistence is the rain, and your gratitude is the fertile soil in which miracles grow. When you align all these elements, you become unstoppable. You are not a victim of circumstances, you are the architect of your destiny. And as you begin to harness these gifts, don't forget the power of visualization. See your desires as though they are already here. Feel the emotions of success, fulfillment, and joy as if they are your current reality. This isn't wishful thinking, it is the divine method of creation. God Himself imagined the universe before He spoke it into being. Your visualization is a reflection of that same divine process. As we close, take a moment to realize how extraordinary you truly are. You were created by God to live a life of greatness, to experience love, abundance, and purpose. The power to achieve that life is already within you. All you need to do is believe in it, use it, and trust in the divine plan that guides your every step. Let this be the day you stop waiting and start acting. Let this be the day you awaken to the limitless potential God has placed within you. You are not here by accident, you are here for a purpose. Walk boldly in that truth. The world is waiting for you to rise. God is waiting for you to claim your power. Now is your time. Step forward, activate this divine gift, and create the life you were always meant to live.